After school special, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. each day. Each ride only $1. Thursday from 6 to 10 p.m. Saturday from 1 to 5 p.m. Pay only $8 per person. And
some other callers saying this is a European society that blacks should abide by, what's put out there. That's bull. We'll call ourselves Americans when our blood and when we're treated as such. Mm-hmm. Dorothy Tillman, hell, did people try to get David Duke's name taken off the ballot? People are doing nothing as long as they're sitting flapping their lips. What am I doing? I talk to people and I try to get them to understand. And the thing is, it's all about money and power and money. If black people and if minorities, if whoever if the barriers are taken down from the opportunities that they should rightly have because we work for them, mm-hmm. then you cannot increase the economic and political and power pie. You can't increase its size. You can only divide its proportions differently. Right. That means that white males and white society is going to have to give something up, and that's something that people don't want to do. Mm-hmm. And that's what this hate and racism is all about.
Okay, listen, Rod, we appreciate the call.
Bye.
Bye-bye. 591-8900 is the number. It's 9:59 on WLS. We're going to continue to take your calls on this. Rod mentioned Dorothy Tillman. I'm going to be weighing in with my opinions on her here on WLS 94.7 FM and 890 AM. The facts of the case, to look at the videotape, to listen to the comments. Moved on from the Sun-Times last week. Tomorrow I will be commenting on it in my column.
Okay, but did you get to sit there for 16 days and listen to all of the evidence like the jury did?
No, I did not.
What qualifies you to write anything?
What qualifies me to write anything? In other words, unless I sat there for 16 days, I'm not allowed to have an opinion. I'm not allowed to look at the facts of the case, to look at the videotape, to listen to the comments of the jurors, to watch parts of it on court television, to hear what Daryl Gates has to say, to hear what the judge has to say. What qualifies me?
No, I agree. I'm just saying, as people, you've issued that you're appalled that the jury found.
Yes, I am.
I am too. Okay. Let's be honest.
Okay.
But at the same time, I've got to understand, I didn't hear everything the jury heard. I have watched Nightline and that. But the media blew it. Nobody commented on what the judge's instructions were. We were all trying to figure out why was the jury out 7 days. Mm-hmm. But yet I read nothing or heard nothing about the judge's instructions.
Okay, I'll give you that. I haven't seen a lot on that either.
And that's the prosecution.
Uh-huh.
There was a heck of a defense. The defense lawyers really set it up. Really did a good job. Mm-hmm. And my comment is the fact it's like getting broadsided and not seeing it coming. Mm-hmm. And the media could have stopped us from doing that. I think they could have, if they would have, just like Kentucky Derby yesterday, one horse is supposed to win.
Yeah, absolutely foregone conclusion that what was it, Azari or something, was the next secretariat, and what the media, I'll agree with you on that one. They didn't realize the fact that you still have to run the race. And I will say you're right, that I don't think that the media properly gave a build-up to the Rodney King case, mm-hmm. And when the four police officers went on trial, there was not a lot. And I have been looking back at all the newspaper coverage, and there was not a lot about what this change of venue will mean, and the makeup of Simi Valley, and I'll give you
about it after.
Yeah.
And that. But one last comment.
Okay.
Is if Rodney King was white, what if we had riots? And then what does that say? I'm a white male, but when I look at things and I say, I don't think we would have rioted, then I've got to ask myself, why? And just, and blacks wonder why we look at them the way they do. Well, this happened. This was senseless that it happened. Everything was. But, if Rodney King was white, we had no riots. But Rodney King's black, we did. And I'm just saying, the black community's got to sit down and ask themselves, were they partly responsible for the way white people react to them?
Okay, thanks for the call, Kent. 591-8900 is the number. It's 10:08 on WLS Talk Radio, 94.7 FM, 890 AM. We're going to go out to Kankakee, and John, you're on WLS.
How you doing? How are you?
Good.
Listen, I have a quick comment and a quick question.
Okay.
First of all, my dad is black and my mom is white, okay?
Okay.
And I am in a very unique position to see it both ways.
How old are you, John?
I'm 30.
Okay.
Okay, my mom and dad are divorced, but in any case, that's besides the point. Here's my question, and first of all, it was wrong what the cops did, period. Okay, there's no excuse for that, and I definitely detest it. The other thing is what the gentleman before me said. What if this man would have been white and the cops would have been black? And I'll tell you what my black relatives are saying. You know, the hell with it. The white folks do all this stuff to us. You know, this shouldn't have happened at all, period. The black community is enraged because they put themselves in the position that they are. All they want to do is collect that welfare check, unfortunately. I see it with my relatives. And that's one of the reasons why my parents had divorced. And that's why a lot of black people always want to blame, you know, the whites, because the whites have the power, okay? I admit it, you know, there is corruption, but a lot of them are good, honest, working people, and so are a lot of the black people. And it just sickens me to hear it from the black side constantly. You know, I love both the blacks and the whites, okay? And it just sickens me to hear the blacks always blaming the whites for everything. Why don't they just do something about it the right way instead of burning down things? It's not going to solve anything.
That's
nothing at all. You know, we people don't even pray anymore in this country. This country is going to hell.
Okay, thanks for the call, John. We appreciate it. 591-8900 is the number. I'm Richard Roeper. We're talking about the situation in Los Angeles. We're going to go to the north side. Hi, Jim. You're on WLS.
Hi, Richard. How you doing?
Good.
You know, that Congresswoman Waters, is that her name?
Maxine Waters, I believe her name is.
I'm sick of watching her on TV.
Boy, she has been everywhere in the last couple of days, hasn't she?
Yeah.
And she has refused to condemn or denounce the violence in Los Angeles. She says she doesn't condone it, but that we should understand where it came from, and she refuses to condemn it. At least that's from what I've seen. I don't know if she said anything different recently.
Well, it's like she's trying to justify what these people did. Now, even if you put jobs in that community, would these punks take these jobs? I doubt it.
Well, that's what we got to point out too. I mean, this community, when we talk about, you know, even South Central Los Angeles, is a huge section of a huge city, and you know, if even if several hundred or even several thousand people are participating in any kind of looting or arson or something, it's a very small group. And no, quite frankly, I don't think the thugs and the blithering idiots who are out there grinning and looting and stomping on people really care about the Rodney King case or care about if their jobs are available. You know.
You know, exactly. You know, you had a call just before the break. The white community's going to pay. Well, who paid for this? How many jobs for minorities and Hispanics were lost at that Sears store in that mall?
Right.
The hardworking minorities that want to make something of themselves just lost the perfect opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, and I want to ask you something. The rights of them Korean business owners, and say this truck driver got out of that truck with a gun and started shooting them kids. What would have happened? What were the rights of these citizens at that point?
That's right. Absolutely.
I mean, did they have rights? Would they have been in trouble if that truck driver jumped out of the truck and started shooting them after they jumped them, or what would have happened?
You're asking me to answer.
I don't know. I'm asking you what, as far as, would he have been indicted for murder? Would he have been defending himself?
That's pure speculation. I mean, I don't know even what's going to happen in the case where they didn't have weapons and armed themselves and were just innocent victims. But
one final comment, Richard.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how you've been in Chicago, but I'm going to take
my whole life.
Okay, Ogden Avenue is a perfect example. I think the black community should frustrate their anger towards these street punks that run businesses out. Ogden Avenue used to be loaded with businesses from Naperville all the way through Chicago. Yeah. It stops at Berwyn and goes to Naperville, and the city of Chicago, them are all burnt out stores, barely any businesses. They're white. Because these punks, undisciplined, gangs, everybody else has run the businessmen out. And this is where they should direct their anger at the parents of these kids that allow them. A lot of these parents, my kid never does anything wrong. I've got cousins the same way, and they're white, and the mother defends him to the end, and this kid's in jail, in and out. He does not want to work, and this is the problem in this country. We raised a whole generation of kids that have no desire to work, no responsibility, and want to take. That's it.
Okay, thanks for the call. We appreciate it. 591-8900 is the number. It's 1013 on WLS. The most recent news we have, at least 41 people were killed and more than 2,100 injured in the riots triggered by Wednesday's acquittal of the 4 white policemen. Damage estimates total $550 million. At this point, that's just got to be an educated guess. But we know for sure that this is one of the worst urban disturbances in the history of this country. 591-8900 is the number. We're going to go to Kay, who was in Lincoln Park. Hi, Kay. You're on WLS.
Oh, hi.
Good morning.
Richard?
Hi, Kay. Yes.
Thanks so much for taking my call.
My pleasure.
Okay? I have several points, but one of the main things I want to say is remember, people who are listening, there was a quote or a slogan back in the 60s that you're either part of the problem or you're part of the solution. Now, we really want to take people into the solution part, right?
Yes.
And hopefully in solving some issues, because I hear a lot of people venting, but I don't hear too many people coming up with answers, okay?
Okay.
Now, one of the answers I would suggest to bring people up to how we got to this point is to do some reading. See, a lot of people are looking for some easy answers. You know, like you put things in a microwave and zap 30 seconds to solve. Is this Kay? Yes. Hello?
Hello.
Okay,
Sorry.
I'm still here. Okay, I would like to suggest that people read the Kerner report, okay, and that came out after the 68 riots. Okay. Andrew Hacker has a book. A new book is called Two Nations. Quote is taken directly from the Kerner report, and it's called Two Nations.
Yeah, that was just recently recommended to me by a friend of mine, Two Nations by Andrew Hacker.
Right. People have to read. Studs Terkel's book on race relations, okay?
Yes.
The Chicago Tribune had an article about the underclass about 3 years ago, and, you know, it's important that people really read and not just vent. We need to come up with some solutions. So with that in mind, I would appreciate if you could ask some of your callers what are they prepared to do to help foster positive race relations with other people, you know, blacks and whites and Hispanics and Asians and blacks and Asians and whites. I mean, we have to think in that terms. I mean, I hope people can really do that, you know, and I think there should be some type of entrepreneurship where people can learn how to operate businesses. Now, that would be very good, too. And another thing I wish WLS would do is maybe have some the leaders on the radio, and maybe you could interview them, you know, like people. These people are pretty conservative. Benjamin Hooks or Jesse Jackson. Now, a lot of people don't like Jesse and stuff, and a lot of people don't like Ben Hooks or Reverend James Lowry or Al Sharpton or Farrakhan. And no matter who black people suggest, nobody likes, you know? But people should listen to what they have to say, because if we can't listen and foster positive relations, like the other caller said, the other gentleman, that this whole country is coming down, because in the 21st century, the millennium, you're going to have mostly people who are people of color, Asians, blacks, Hispanics here in this country. So this is costing us dearly, dearly. People, please wake up. Please wake up.
Thanks for the call, Kay, and thanks for the suggestions. 591-8900 is the number. It's 1016 on WLS. We're going to go to Mike on the northwest side. Hi, Mike. You're on WLS.
Hi, Richard. How are you today?
Okay.
I just thought that I think that everybody should stop worrying about that this was a race beating, Rodney. I think that it's just